Our wonderful Hot Coffee viewers, welcome to yet another edition of Hot Coffee. We are praying that you're enjoying the chilled weather out there and that you did have your coffee in the morning. Even as we are going to go in our therapy today, I'm praying that you've made your hot cup of coffee with the right type of coffee so that you may just get energized. So before we talk about our therapy today, we just still want to talk about the book Hot Coffee. We turned the conversations in the previous broadcast into a book. It's also called Hot Coffee. So we are praying that you grab a copy of this book. Just give us a call on the number scrolling down there on the screen, and do let us know your experience after you read Hot Coffee book. So this afternoon is an amazing afternoon. Before we just enter in, would love to share a few moments of therapy that triggers a positive mind. So even as we are going to speak through this afternoon, we are praying that you will enjoy a therapeutic moment with us. So just to inspire your mind this day, we just want to talk about self-care today. That even as you are caring for others, don't forget to care for yourself. Sometimes we get busy with our busy schedules at work, busy schedules at school, whatever things that you're doing on a routine basis, but we want to urge you as Hot Coffee to remember to care for yourself. Caring for yourself means looking out for yourself in terms of having a regular bath, having enough sleep, having enough rest, and ridding off any form of stress. So we are showing you this afternoon that we want to be there for you. We want to assure you that in everything that you are going through, Hot Coffee will be your support system to help you cope through the stress, to help you cope through your emotions. So we are going to enjoy our time today in this therapy. So today we want to explore on the issue of support, the emotional support that you get to give to yourself, the emotional support that you receive even from the people around you. Each time we talk about emotions, we forget that an emotion can create or it can destroy. So it means today we want you to focus on managing your emotions positively. So when we are talking about support, the emotional support, we are talking of issues of you letting go of any pain situation that you are going through, talking through that issue that you are going through, having someone to listen to you. So even as we are going to explore it, we are praying that you will build your support system for your emotional support. So we'll start with you as an individual. How do you manage your emotions? It's very, very important that you manage your emotions, even in our daily activities, that God may just give you that strength to be resilient in life. We need to care for our emotions so that we become better people, so that we just do exploits in everything that we are doing. So when we come to you as an individual, how do you give yourself emotional support? So emotional support will come in a form of self-talk. You got to start talking to your feelings, managing them, realizing that you have the inner ability to control how you are feeling, even managing the traffic of feelings. When you are caring for yourself, you are doing that self-talk, you are talking, having a meeting with yourself. What emotions do I need to handle today that will give me a better day? Sometimes you may be going through a traumatizing series in your life. So when you are doing a self-talk, you are coming to terms with what you are going through. Come to a place of acceptance, that has been giving me sleepless nights. So even as you are going to go through everything that you go through, always remember to address, have a meeting with your emotions. So self-talk helps us just rebuild our inner selves. It helps us to come out better people. As you are creating your emotional support, there will be times that you have nobody to run to. There will be times that you have nobody to lean on. So when you're talking about emotional support, it all starts with you as an individual. How do you go about with your emotions? So as you are talking to yourself, realizing the strength inside you to say, this is who God made me. You understand your weaknesses. You understand your strengths. Then you go through it through that manner so that you just become better and better. Remember to talk to yourself, have that self-talk. Even when you are going through sorrow, there's always still time to talk to yourself. So after you come after talking to yourself, we now go through the process of you mapping out the like minds, the like situations. Have you ever heard of a support group in your life? It could be that you are a refugee in a certain country. You cannot fit in with the other foreigners, but you know the country where you are coming from. You understand what it means to be traumatized by war. So when you create that community, healing, some things we are exposed to cannot allow us to just come out and create that emotional support. But when you map out a community of like experiences, the people that may have gone through a similar situation as you went through, that's why it's easy for refugees to create a community whenever they enter into a country, not only in the refugee camp, but even also in the local communities, because they give each other that emotional support. Maybe you came into a country earlier than your friend, so that friend now teaches you how to cope in the new environment, teaches you how to communicate in that new environment. So emotional support helps us to create communities of like minds, that we support each other, that we are just there for one of end-of-life care. So as a family, how do you cost the diapers, the food, that special diet for the patient? But the key thing that should hold you together as a family is good at communicating bad news up the patient. And who is good at bathing or feeding the patient, being there on the bedside? So you can apply emotional support in any area of your life. It could be also that you are going through phases of just discovering that you tested HIV positive. You've heard of hospitals where they have support groups. So those support groups are there for you to help you to vent out so that you don't keep anything that you are feeling. An HIV patient today and an HIV patient tomorrow, they all have the same chronic illness, but they do not have the same emotional experiences. So as you are creating that emotional support, you are there for one another. You are talking about the issues of death. Do not be afraid to discuss death, even in your support groups, even just as you are discussing. Even in the family, when you are discussing emotional support, remember those people who are afraid to even hear the word death. How do you handle bad news as a family? When you apply emotional support, it just gives you that drive, it gives you that energy to look forward to a bright future, to look forward to more happier moments and coming out of any situation that can cause you strife. You can also apply emotional support as a community. Remember, when a loved one dies in a home, the funeral is not just for the people in the house. It is a community affair. It becomes a national affair. So when people are coming to give you the solace, to be there with you, to cry with you, to mourn with you for the loved one, that is also emotional support. They are not mainly going to give you the funds, but their presence and their availability helps you to cope through that pain. So you need to understand that emotional support works in all circumstances. Sometimes you are just starting out a business. You do not know how to go about certain transactions. So you need to meet with certain people that have already gone ahead of you. So you map out who could be my mentor in my area of expertise, who could be my mentor in my area of this project. So as you are mapping out those mentors, according to their strengths, they'll also give you emotional support other than just the knowledge and skills they are giving you. So emotional support is just an amazing way of handling the changes that come into our lives. Sometimes we fail to be willing to accept the change in our life because we do not have the emotional support. Maybe it is time to move to a new location, or maybe it's time to step out into a greater project, but something didn't work out. When you have that personal emotional support, even when things are not working right around you, even when things are going from bad to worse, remember the emotional support within you, even before you look for solace in other people. Let that emotional support be activated in you. As you are taking your coffee right now, as you are going through whatever issues you are going through, you still need emotional support. To somebody who is going through, let's say, divorce, they are also need to be having that experience of emotional support, the separation that people go through, and the person who is the victim in the divorce process. But as you are discovering who you are, when you understand emotional support, not even a divorce situation can break you, because you will have to map out now, which of the people in my life can stand with me in my divorce issue. Maybe you have to map out a certain auntie to keep you strong, to encourage you to realize certain things that you could have worked on. So instead of counting the guilt, the blame, work out your emotional support. Even after you've gone through that divorce process, you could still be able to do something greater. You could still be able to do something fine, because you will have worked on your emotions. You could have worked on everything that concerns your life. So this morning, we just want to thank God that He has given us time to meet on this platform as Hot Coffee to just discuss our emotions. So when you are going to go through this afternoon, just desire to understand what your emotions are. When you wake up in the morning, speak to your emotions. Whatever you are seeing is connected to your emotional support. So even your perception to life is affected by your emotions. How well do your emotions can work things right for you out there and do better than anybody else could have done? Believe in yourself that you can come out of a situation. Believe in yourself that you can be able to speak to your emotions. Do not let your emotions control you. You need to be in charge of your emotions. Tell them what you want to feel on a particular day. No matter what worked out, no matter what didn't work out, your emotions communicate to you on a daily basis. They always give you a window to speak to them. So today, desire to just speak to your emotions and say, whatever loss I've encountered, whatever painful thing that is so traumatizing that I'm not even sleeping, that is haunting my mind today, just speak to your emotions, to desire in you to bring out the best in your thoughts, because your emotional support creates your thought patterns. How do you align your thoughts for a particular day? How do you just go through and just feel who you are feeling on that particular day? You just need to understand your emotions. Your thought pattern is very important because it's connected to your thought process. It's connected to your emotions. It's connected to whatever you are thinking about, your ideas, your dreams, and everything. So when you have worked on your emotional support, it means even your thought process will be so organized that you just be living a stress-free life, because you will know how to handle your emotions. So even as you are going to embrace emotions, whether it's a happy mood, whether it's a joyous or sad mood, there is always that language that comes out of a person. So you need to desire to learn the skill of connecting the words people are using and connecting them to their emotions. And that will now build your emotional intelligence. You need to understand when somebody says a certain word, what feelings are they communicating? And it will help you to make better decisions in life. It also helps you when you have emotional support. You just have the right word for. Look at this COVID pandemic issue. It has affected people in different ways. Right now, you need emotional support. Some people have lost their jobs. How do you talk to somebody who has lost a contract because the company can't manage to pay pay them because of the COVID issue. So you need to offer one another the emotional support. Be there, put yourself in their shoe. Show them that you understand what they're going through, that you empathize with them, that what they're going through is a bad situation. But even in their worst moments, they can still rise up to the occasion and identify other opportunities. So just remember emotional support. Whatever you are going through, speak to yourself. I am my emotional support. Sometimes, even as a community, you may be facing different shades of experiences, but remember emotional support. To a parent out there who is wondering how to help maybe 2 or 3 children who are on drug addiction, those people need emotional support so that they may regain, they may restore their sanity of mind, that they may relax even in their process of healing. Sometimes we rush people to heal because we do not build a strong emotional support for them. As the feelings are escalating, as the emotions are all over, you need to understand that emotional support builds a wall around you as an individual over your feelings, even the people around you, so that you are working right, so that you are speaking to each other well. So those parents who are going through the situation of drug addiction for their children, let us give them the emotional support. Put yourself in their shoes and say, if I were the parent to those boys or to those girls, how would the community love me or respond to me? So instead of stigmatizing them, instead of avoiding them, how's about showing them love? You walk in a mood, in a language of emotional support. So we are praying that this has been awesome with you, and that as you continue, God will just do something great in your life as you are exploring your emotions. Remember the power of emotional support, that you could still be able to do something about your life. No matter the traumatizing events you've gone through, always remember emotional support. Like the way the spinal cord gives you support on the body, you know the role of a spinal cord. That's the role of emotional support, that things will still go well with you and you will embrace emotional support at the place of work. Be there for each other. Understand who's not having their emotions right. Talk to each other well.